Hello my friends, it's Sunki here. Take control and be happy every day. Today, I would like to share with you 5 ways to stop comparing yourself to others. Now, there's basically 2 types of comparison when you compare with others. One is comparing upwards, where you are comparing yourself to someone whom you think is better than you. And the other one is comparing downwards, where you are comparing yourself to someone whom you think is worse off than you. Today, we're going to be talking about mostly upward comparing. For some people, upward comparing actually gives them the spark and motivates them to achieve their goals. Unfortunately, for majority of the people, when we compare upwards, we often find ourselves being miserable at the end of the day. Now, being miserable, do you want that for your life? I hate it. You hate it. Take control and be happy every day. If it makes you miserable, we want to kill it. So how do we stop comparing ourselves to others? Number 1, know exactly why you want to stop comparing yourself with others and know that it's stupid to compare. So why do you want to stop comparing yourself with others? Let me tell you why. It is purely for selfish reasons. Because it's tiring. It's a waste of time and energy. There is always going to be someone better than you out there. There is a Chinese saying, there's always going to be a higher mountain somewhere else. So what's the point of going into battle that you cannot win? It's a losing battle. It's just going to wear you out where you have no energy and no time to create what you want for yourself. Tell me, if you have an extra minute in your life, would you rather start comparing yourself with others and sulk and make your life miserable? Or would you rather use that time, that minute, to start thinking how you can create a better life for yourself? You choose. Seriously, you don't have to have a very high IQ to be able to choose what's best for you. Now, number 2, be fair to yourself. Let me ask you a question. Would you let your 3-year-old to run a race with a 7-year-old? And if your 3-year-old loses, he or she will get beaten up? Or another question, would you let your Chihuahua run a race with a Greyhound? And if your Chihuahua loses, your Chihuahua will get grounded with no meals for the rest of the week? Think. Look, there's no apples comparing with apples when it comes to comparing human beings, even if you're comparing it with twins. It is more like comparing an apple with pink hair. In other words, you just can't compare. Everyone is born with different genes, different energy levels, growing up in different places, different environment, different culture, different background, different influences, having different resources, and the list goes on. So if you wouldn't let someone dear to you like your child or dog to go through an unfair comparison, why would you do it to yourself? Be fair to yourself. Love yourself as much as you would love someone dear to you. Don't let yourself go through these stupid, unfair comparison. Number 3, change envy into evidence that you can succeed. Many of these type of upward comparison comes from being envious to what others have that you feel you lack of. And you think if you have what that person have, you will feel happy and fulfilled. Now, I want to say that if it is a physical thing that you're comparing yourself with and there is not much you can do about it, such as if you're comparing yourself with another person's body, facial features, or if you don't have legs, you're trying to compare yourself with someone who has legs, I need you to stop now. Otherwise, you'll be miserable for the rest of your life. Focus on things that you can change. And fortunately, there are many things that you can do to change and work on to get to what you are envious about. Now pay attention here. A lot of this type of comparison often doesn't see the whole picture. It neglects the fact that the other person have put in a lot of time, years of hard work, sweat, effort, and energy to get to where they are now. You have to take these into consideration and stop wanting something that you have not put in the same level of energy, sweat, effort, and hard work that the other person did. So in saying that, did the light bulb just lit up? The fact that someone has already done it should give you the indication and evidence that it can be done. In other words, if you put in the same amount of time, sweat, work, energy, effort that the other person did, you would get similar results. Bingo! Now be careful though, don't get trapped into comparing apples with pink hair that we mentioned before. Now, number 4, be very, very busy working towards fulfilling your own goals. Now, when you're very busy working towards your own goals, you have no time to compare, is there? When you try and hit a target, you aim at the target. You don't look left or right. That is where you lose focus and miss the target. Yep, so be very, very, very busy focusing on your own goals. And don't even allow a single second that you could compare yourself to others. When you notice you start comparing in your mind, switch immediately to the words back to work, back to work, back to work, and immediately go back to work. Number 5, celebrate others' success and get rid of the scarcity mentality. I'm not saying you're to throw a whole party for them. I'm saying to be happy for them and make it a habit. Many people find celebrating other people's success difficult because they have this scarcity mentality. They think that if someone else has a success, they will not be able to get the same success. Well, this type of mentality might be due to one growing up in an environment where there's ranking system, which put them constantly under pressure to perform, and there's only one reward for the best. And if they don't perform well, they will get shamed or not rewarded. Now, a lot of the Asian education system is like that. I grew up from one, and that's why I'm really not a big fan of them. I find them impeding with creativity. I still remember when I was in primary school, we had to take tests every day, and we were canned every day for not getting 100%. The teacher canned us by using these big, long bamboo stick. We call them teng tiao in Chinese or rotan in Malay. So there are a few rotan in every class. So there's some thick ones and some thin ones. And every morning when we go to school, we'll try and hide the biggest rotan away so that the teacher can find it, and put the smaller rotan out so the teacher can find the smaller rotan first and use that to spank us. And how the teacher spank us, say if you get 80% and you get canned 20 times. If you get 99%, you get canned 1 time. And if you pass and get 50%, you're dead. Now, because of this type of culture, only the best gets rewarded. It shapes a scarcity mentality in many of us, which we will often think that everyone else is better than us and there's no way we could become like them. And when we see something that we like or we want, we either feel jealous and envy about it, or we just cut it off and declare that we'll never ever be able to achieve that and just do nothing about it. Now, because we do nothing about it, we'll never ever be able to achieve what we want. So it's actually like a vicious cycle, and we really have to correct that type of thinking. Now, as children, it might be hard to see that there is a whole big world out there. But now, as adults, we can actually see clearly, yes, there is a very, very big world out there for us. And there's enough resources and space for everyone to succeed in their own terms. So celebrate others' success to get rid of the scarcity mentality so it doesn't hinder you to achieve your own success. Number 6, immense gratitude. Now, here I want to say, if you want to compare with someone who is less fortunate than you. African kids who has no food to eat for months, or people living in war zones, and see how much you have got in your life. Be so grateful that you are so self-sufficient that you don't see the need to compare yourself. Now, there is a technique that you could use to do this. That is to imagine you swapping position with the person who is less fortunate than you, such as imagining yourself living in a war zone, and see how life treats you there. And you'll feel immense gratitude after that. So in a nutshell, let's revise again. The 6 effective ways to how to stop comparing yourself with others. Number 1, know exactly why you want to stop comparing yourself to others and know that it's stupid to compare. Number 2, be fair to yourself. It's never a fair comparison. Number 3, change envy to evidence that you can succeed as well if you follow the footsteps, and be careful comparing apples with pink hair. Number 4, be very, very busy working towards fulfilling your own goals. Number 5, celebrate others' success and get rid of the scarcity mentality. Number 6, immense gratitude. Now, before I finish off, I would like to add in what Tony Robbins says. Success without fulfillment is ultimate failure. And I couldn't agree enough. So think about it. Many people look successful in the outside but not fulfilled in the inside. Is that success or failure? So work on the things that really matter to you. Remember what we said in the 5 Secrets to Instant Happiness video? It is the meaning we give to situations that determines our happiness. And I dare to say here that it is the meaning we give to fulfillment that determines our fulfillment. Now, if you haven't already watched the 5 Secrets to Instant Happiness Forever, I'll put a link down below for you and make sure you check it out. Well, I guess that's it for today. Take control and be happy every day. With lots of love. See you next time. Bye bye.